All living organisms are having equal right to live in the earth as human beings. But we are creating threats to the life of these animals, birds and other living organisms in different way. Uttara Kannada district of Karnataka state is rich in forest as well as biodiversity. Uttara Kannada district has least density of population in the state because large area of land is covered by the forest. These forests are the life of living organisms. They are the shelter, food and everything for them. Nowadays, forest is degrading in large scale due to urbanization, grazing and increasing human desire. This situation is directly having adverse effect on biodiversity. Haliyal Taluk of Uttara Kannada district covering Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary required immediate attention for conservation and protection of biodiversity such as different species of plants, birds, mammals, reptiles and amphibians. In present situation, farmer community is feeding more to the earth to get more productivity. In crop cultivation, farmers are using chemical fertilizers and pesticides as a substitute for biological method of fertilization and pest control. The chemicals used in cultivation and pest control affects harmfully on the lives of diverse creatures in the forest. Several plant species, amphibians, reptiles, fishes, mammals and insects are under endangered situation due to intensive use of chemicals and pesticides in the agricultural land. The same holds true for many indigenous plant varieties which have disappeared within the space of one generation. Social and environment activist Mr. Ganapati Bhat designed a project to address this problem and making effort to conserve the biodiversity in this area. A3 Bangalore has recognized effort of Mr. Ganapati Bhat and helped him through CEPF small grant program. Mr. Ganapati Bhat is working in development sector since 10 years and served the community through different developmental organizations like Tropical Research and Development Center Bangalore, MANUVIKASA Siddhapur, Rutseti Haliyal. He is having vast experience in the field of women empowerment, biodiversity conservation, promotion of organic farming and water harvesting. He is implementing the project Conservation of Biodiversity Hotspot through capacity building of forest-dependent communities through the promotion of organic farming in Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary of North Kannada District, Karnataka, and focusing on following aspects. Identification of major species getting threats from intensive chemical agriculture through assessment of the selected farms and assess the positive effect of organic farming in biodiversity conservation. Improving indigenous knowledge of community in agriculture practice to reduce the effect of chemicals on flora and fauna. Promoting organic farming in selected site with active participation of farmers. Minimize the use of chemical and outside organic materials to the farm in cultivation and sustainable use of agriculture waste for fertilization. Exploring new methods of preparation of biopesticides, manure and seed conservation through organic method. Involving government department to protect farmers through providing crop insurance, subsidies and higher price. Involving external institutions and agencies for species availability assessment and maintain internal control system. Implementing the project with following objective: to promote module forms of organic farming, study and assess the importance of organic farming in biodiversity conservation. To create awareness among community on the importance of biodiversity, conservation and prevention of use of pesticides and insecticides to protect forest vertebrates and invertebrates from chemical contaminated water and food. At the beginning, 100 farmers were surveyed and 40 farmers were shown interest in this project. Out of 40 farmers, 6 farmers are selected for biodiversity assessment. All these farmers are selected in 7 villages and 147.24 acres of agricultural land is taken up under this project for organic farming.
We have selected 40 farmers and 147 acres of land in this research project, and we have given training and capacity building activities to the farmers to taken up organic farming activities. Then we have selected 6 farmers including 3 chemical farmers for assessment of the effect of chemical and organic farming on biodiversity.
Paddy is the major crop and 122.15 acres in Kharif and 38.03 acres in Rabi. Out of 122.15 acres, farmers are planting traditional varieties in only 11.21 acres. Out of 147.24 acres of total project area, horticulture crop area is 20.01 acres and arecanut, banana and mango are the major crops in horticulture land. Survey details show that only 3 varieties of local paddy are found in this area. Local elders are remembering more than 8 varieties of paddy seeds were grown in this area, and most of the local paddy varieties are disappeared due to intervention of hybrid seeds. This initial baseline survey is also studied that usage of chemical fertilizer is very high and using 27 kg of chemical fertilizer per acre and producing 900 kg of paddy. But 8 years back, 1800 kg of paddy were producing in the same land with less use of chemicals. Year by year, farmers are using more chemicals for getting more production, and now they are feeling that fertility of the land is decreasing in their land. This project is helpful to them to come back to the natural farming. This project has helped farming community to adopt organic and tree-based agriculture through trainings and field level demonstrations. Local organic farming experts, scientists from Agriculture University Dharwad and Agriculture Science Center Sirsi were attended as resource persons for the training program. Farmers are trained on fundamentals of organic farming, fertilization of land, usage and storage of local seeds, preparation of compost and vermicompost, preparation of liquid manure, adoption of horticulture and agroforestry, and internal control system. Most of the farmers in the project area have started the organic farming and producing compost, vermicompost and liquid manures. Now, farmers are expressing their good opinion about organic farming after involving in this project. My name is Vilas Shivappa Kamble and I am a farmer of Mavalangi village. Organic farming is really beneficial for us and we will lose nothing in it. But expenditure is more in chemical farming and our land will lose fertility gradually. I have started organic farming and producing compost and liquid manures in our land, and we are not required to go outside for purchase of fertilizers. Previously, we used to go to forest for collection of organic materials, and now we are producing organic materials in our land and we are not dependent on forest.
Productivity
is improved after introduction of organic farming, and predatory insects, birds and earthworms are improved in our field. Birds, ants and spiders are controlling pests in crops and we are not required to spray pesticides. We cannot see this biodiversity in chemical farming.
ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಚಂದ ಬೆಳೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅದು ರಾಸಾಯನಿಕ ಇಲ್ಲದೇನೋ ಚಲೋ ಬೆಳೀತದ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಅನುಭವ ಐತೆ.
ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿಯೊಳಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಮೊದಲಿನಿಂದ ಇದೆ.
I have interest and exposure in organic farming. Mr. Ganapati Bhat invited me to guide the farmers in his project. At the initial stage of the project, I found that farmers in this area are following chemical farming practice. After continuous field visits and training, they realized the importance of organic farming and adverse effect of chemical farming.
ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ರೈತರು
I have demonstrated and advised different types of compost preparation and liquid manure preparation, and most of the farmers have adopted these systems in their farms.
ಅಡವಿಯ ಅವಲಂಬನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನೀವು ಗೊಬ್ಬರಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ
We also advised them to develop live fencing around their farms, and this really reduced the dependency of farmers on surrounding forest area for their agriculture instruments and organic materials. In this project, continuous assessment is conducted in the farmer's field and observed the effect on biodiversity after introducing organic farming. This assessment observed the tree species, herbs, shrubs, birds, butterflies, earthworms, and aquatic diversities. Following experts are involved in assessment process.
Study shows that the productivity of the agriculture producers is very high in organic farming, and the production cost is less comparing to the chemical farming.
To prove the effect of organic farming on biodiversity, this was the real challenge in this project. To find out the cost-effective organic farming techniques and transfer this knowledge to the farmers is also challenge of the project.
We have documented several indigenous knowledge of the farming community, especially crop protection and all. These are all environment friendly and biodiversity friendly practices. For example, bechu and these malas and all. Now we are regenerating that knowledge and practices, and we have given training also for the farmers. They are highly interested to take up these indigenous knowledge, and even live fencing they are practicing. These are all methods they are protecting wild animals.
Opinion of Mr. Prabhakar Bhat, scientist, Indian Institute of Science. We found that more number of plants and shrub diversity is identified in organic farm comparing to chemical farms in our evaluation. Also, we found that earthworms, predator species, birds and butterflies are high in organic farms during our study. Organic farmers generally conserve soil and water in their farms and conserve biodiversity around their farms. In turn, they conserve the environment. We found in the primary evaluation that plant growing proportion is high in organic farms, and more time is required to study the importance of organic farming in different angles. We found that organically grown product quality is good in terms of taste, size and durability. So this product is having more price in organic market and even in local market. Following lessons are learnt during the project period. Farmers are interested to adopt organic farming. Organic farming is energy efficient. Chemical farming causes diverse effect on wetlands and water bodies, which in turn affects on aquatic flora and fauna. Organic farming usually increases species richness, having an average 47% highest herbs richness than chemical farming. Birds, insects and plants usually show an increased species richness in organic farming system. Predatory insects, spider and earthworms richness species is very high in organic farming. The possibility of fire attack on wildlife sanctuary is decreased due to recycling of agriculture waste instead of burning. Transmission of diseases is decreased among wild animals as rearing of domestic animals is decreased in forest area because of increased demand for cow dung.
So I am very thankful to A-Tree CAPF project. They are supporting me to take up this activity.